Hey everybody, what is going on? It's Lazarus here, bringing you another MLB The Show 18 video. And today, we're going to be going over who I think will be the top 10 highest rated players in MLB The Show 18. Now before we get into my list, there's just a couple of things I want to make clear. Number one, these are predictions. I have no idea if these are going to be completely accurate or not. This is just what I think based off of me looking at stats and stuff like that. Number two, this is based only on their overall and not how good of a player they are. Now, somebody being a higher overall doesn't necessarily make them a better player. So keep in mind, this is based on overall only. Just because someone's a higher overall doesn't mean they're technically a better player. They're just rated higher. And finally, the third thing is that these are all my opinions, and chances are you're going to have a different one. So if a player you think should be on this list isn't, then stick around to the end of the video because I'm going to have some honorable mentions. And why not leave a comment telling me what you think should be different, and maybe we could have a nice civil discussion down there in the comment section. Alright, without further ado, let's get right into the list. Alright, kicking it off at number one as the highest rated player in the game, it will be Mike Trout of the Los Angeles Angels. And this really should not come as a surprise to anybody. Trout's been a 99 overall in pretty much, the last 5 MLB The Shows. And that will not be changing anytime soon. He's going to be a 99 overall once again. I can guarantee that. Trout's only played 6 seasons in the MLB, and he's already amassed a WAR of over 50, which in itself is just absolutely ridiculous. People might say he's overrated, but honestly, if he keeps going at this pace, Mike Trout will be one of the best players of all time. At number 2, we have another guy who's pretty much an automatic 99 at this point, and that is Clayton Kershaw, who is easily the best starting pitcher in the whole league, and at this point, probably a future Hall of Famer as well. Now, I really feel like I don't need to go into much detail about why Kershaw will be a 99 overall, but he just keeps putting up amazing season after amazing season, and he's been a 99 overall every single year, so definitely don't expect any regression there. Because this guy is one of those few generational talents that we don't get to see very often. Next up, we have a guy who I do believe will be a 99 overall to start the year, and that is Jose Altuve. And it is pretty amazing how much he's improved over the last few years. In 2017, his WAR was 8.3. He hit almost 350 and won AL MVP. He's emerged as one of the best players in all of baseball, and I think his overall should reflect that. In at number 4, we have Dodgers relief pitcher Kenley Jansen, and you may be thinking, wow, isn't a 98 overall kind of high for Kenley Jansen? Well, not really. He's easily become the best relief pitcher in all of baseball, and 98 overall would just about reflect that. Last season, in 68 and 1/3 innings pitched, he had an ERA of 1.32, a whip of 0.746, and 14.4 strikeouts per 9, which is absolutely ridiculous. And he only walked 7 guys throughout the whole season. Kenley has made a transition from a pretty good reliever to just absolute dominance and the best in the game. In at number 5, we have another starting pitcher, and it's Max Scherzer, who I firmly believe is the second best starter in all of baseball, and could actually be on his way to a Hall of Fame career. Now, he did win the Cy Young last year, which puts the odds in his favor, and I feel like people slightly overlook how good Max Scherzer actually is. 2017 might have actually been his best season yet, as in 200 innings he had an ERA of 2.51, struck out 12 batters per 9, which is very, very good. His whip was well below 1, and he was money pretty much all across the board. I feel like a 96 would be a good starting point for him in MLB The Show 18, but he's someone I could definitely see improving even more. At number 6, we have Andrew Miller, who I do believe is the second best reliever in all of baseball, right behind Kenley Jansen. And I feel like he's another guy whose reputation kind of speaks for itself. He's been good for a pretty long time now, but his 2017 was absolutely phenomenal. In 62 and 2/3 innings pitched, he had an ERA of 1.44, allowed only 3 home runs throughout the whole year, had a whip of 0.83, struck out 13.6 batters per 9, and was absolutely lights out whenever the Indians needed him out of the bullpen. A 96 should be a good starting point for him. and I feel like that properly reflects on how good he is. At number 7, we have Joey Votto, and he's another guy who I think is just criminally overlooked. He puts up great seasons every single year, but he just doesn't seem to get the love he deserves. He almost did in 2017 though, as he was the runner-up in the NL MVP voting after yet another phenomenal season. He had a line of 320, 454, and 578. His OPS was over 1,000. He walked 134 times, all at the same time while driving in 100 and hitting 36 bombs. And he played every single game. That's the kind of value that you just don't see too often in today's game. Now, while a 95 isn't too bad, I could actually see him getting maybe even higher than that. But at this point, I think a 95 is a safe bet. But eventually, Joey Votto will get the love he deserves. At number 8, we have another great starting pitcher, Corey Kluber, who I do believe is the best starter in the American League. Sorry, Chris Sale. And he's coming off another Cy Young season. Now he's coming off a season where he went 18-4 with a 2.25 ERA in over 200 innings pitched. He struck out 265 guys, had an ERA plus over 200, a whip of 0.869, and pretty much dominated in every statistical category. He should at least be a 95 overall when the game comes out, but with how good he's been, I could see him pushing the envelope to being maybe even like a 97, something like that. But I guess we'll have to wait and see what happens. At number 9, we have the reigning NL MVP, Giancarlo Stanton, and everyone was questioning, will he ever be able to stay healthy? Well, I think he answered that question, as he finally had a full healthy season in 2017 and nearly hit 60 home runs. Along with that, his slashing line was 281 batting average, an on-base of 376, and a slugging of 631, which is really good. He had a WAR of 7.6 and was probably one of the best players in the league last year. Now, I do think a 95 overall is a fair overall for him, but like a lot of guys on this list, I could definitely see it going up if he continues to hit like he did last year, especially in a new, smaller stadium, in a division where the Baltimore Orioles pitching is a thing. Who knows what could happen. And finally, rounding out the list at number 10 is everybody's favorite baseball diva, Bryce Harper. I'm kidding, he's not that bad. But in 2017, Harper put together another solid season. Actually, it was a pretty great season, I'm not going to lie. He hit 319 with an on-base of 413, slugging of 595, with 27 home runs and 87 RBIs. Sometimes you forget that Bryce Harper is only 25 years old and is entering his free agent year, so I expect really big things from him in 2018. You know how these guys perform in contract years. At this point, I think he's earned a spot on this list. I do think he'll be a 95 overall. And while he might not be an all-time great like Mike Trout will be, Bryce Harper is still a very, very, very good player. Well, that's all I have for you guys today. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like and subscribe. Let me know in the comments below who you think is going to be in the top 10 overall wise in MLB The Show 18. Try not to get too heated in the comment section. And as always, thank you for watching. Peace.